what we're gonna do? We're just gonna talk, Erica. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Um, so Erica, how are you doing today? Like, how are you?
really good. I woke up, I had breakfast, had some coffee, got a spell book today on candle magic. My sister and I are planning on doing a candle business,
A candle
just
business.
breaking down. Yeah, we want to break the myth that magic is evil and start using white magic and teaching people how to manifest, and ourselves as well, like manifesting and in a healthy way.
Oh, that's very wonderful.
Yeah.
Just for the people at home, Erica, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Erika. Some people call me Sage. That's my nickname. And I run a page on Instagram called Lucid Dream Angel. I also have a few YouTube videos posted up under that title. And I started it back when I was lucid dreaming often, nightly. And I wanted other people to tap into that magic as well. Because then I felt like if more people lucid dreamed and woke up to their dreams, then they may have the confidence and energy to make those dreams a reality in the real world. Um,
Oh, that's very wwonderful. It's just most people nowadays, if they find lucid dreaming to be some sort of like weird thing, to people who are new or who don't know about what lucid dreaming is, or who are trying to get into it. Can you tell us what is lucid dreaming into its base form? What is it from its roots?
to me, lucid dreaming is taking control of the dream, being able to do anything, absolutely anything that you want to do in the dream. So even if you're having a nightmare, it's being able to turn that nightmare into literally anything else that you would prefer. Like how a printer can copy and paste images, our minds can copy and paste images. We can produce the images actually, like a computer. Like when you type into Google, like all you have to do is go in your mind, think and imagine, right? Use your imagination. What do you want to see? And then see it, make it happen, make yourself see it, right? So if there's something that you want, know that it's a desire from God and let it be. So it is. For example, if you're having nightmares and you want to end the nightmares, you can befriend the characters that are maybe chasing you or hurting you, or whatever is going wrong in this dream, and you can learn to love those characters and befriend them, or you can just make them poof, vanish, disappear altogether and change the scene completely and go into your own reality. It's like virtual reality, but without the glasses. And we all have the technology within our brains because we release this chemical called DMT, right? And every night when we practice this and we use conscious intention, like with anything that we do, we have to think about it first and then intend, and then it becomes reality, right? And a lot of us, I feel, are doing this on an unconscious level. At least myself, I used to be an unconscious manifester. So I was like going through life, but really asleep. And in my dreams, I wouldn't be awake and using conscious control of my own reality in the dream. I would be letting things happen to me, right? And becoming conscious of like that, whether you want to let things happen to you and for you in the dream state and have characters give you guidance. That's one way to like surrender to the dream.
The I am
Or
that I am, that accepting of what is.
accepting all of them, right, as projections of you, either way that you go, whether you surrender to the dream or whether you take control of the dream and make things happen exactly the way that you want them to, as if you were God, right?
Yeah.
Either path that you take, and you can split both paths. You can go one night and the next night do the other one. You don't have to choose which path to take. You can, whatever works for you at the time will be of service to you, right? And it's really about what is of service to you, what pleases you. That's what dreams are. It's our own little world. It's not shared with anybody else really when you're in the dream, right? Unless we get into dream sharing and then you start psychically connecting with other people. But again, that's also a product of your own imagination
Oh,
and theirs as well, right? It's like a meeting of minds, or so it seems, but really it's the same being within seemingly different bodies. That's the theory of mine.
oh,
So
that's really wonderful. And you said a lot of things that I want to pick. I want to pick, like individually right there. And you talking about the light, it's another plane of existence. Can you tell me, for maybe it's from your own opinion or from your own philosophical mindset, where do you think this our dimension is located? Is it within the mindscape of imaginations, or is it within another plane of existence?
It's hard to say, and I don't know which one it is, but I always found that really fascinating that no one knows. We don't know if we're just in our minds and imagining things, or if we're actually going and astral projecting to another place. But I do know from my own experience that for me, astral projection, like going out of your physical vessel with your spiritual vessel, feels different for me than waking up in my dream, right? But who's to say whether or not, like, I didn't realize that I had left my body and gone somewhere else and then woke up in the dream? I don't know for sure if it's, and does it matter, like, really, like, what happens whether you astral project or whether you or believe you're lucid dreaming. What is actually happening is you're setting an intention, you're thinking thoughts, and then it's producing an image, which is like fifth dimensional, right? So here we're in the 4D, right? This is like in the 4D, I can't put my finger through the wall, or so I believe, right? So
Sure,
therefore,
yes.
I can't. Every day I wake up with the intention of like, oh, this isn't the dream world, so therefore I can't do things that I can do in the dream world. But I'm starting to wonder, like, okay, maybe it's because I'm not setting the intention that I can do that, which is the reason why I can't do that. Because when I've set intentions for, like, in this fourth dimensional reality, like, oh, I want to see auras, and I practice and practice and practice for 3 years, and I believe and believe and believe, and eventually, boom, it breaks through, and then I start seeing auras, right? And
Yeah,
it's like, is that psychic, or is it an illusion of you believing you're psychic, so therefore you see it, right? Is it like in the quantum physics world, it's you believe something and then you see it. It's not the other way around, like in the Newtonian physics, right? The Newtonian physics, the old way of physics, is I see something and then I believe it. I test things out and then I believe the results. Quantum physics is I believe in something and then it becomes reality based off of my belief in it and my will and my I amness or whatever it is, right? Like
sure.
I believe it over and over again until it becomes real.
Sure. You also were talked about this thing about our mindsets and how we are placed in a more denser physical dimension than in the world of the dreams. That from my own knowledge, I think that within the lucid dream, it's vibrating at a different frequency, that at a much higher one. So at a more a more alpha. And all of you are watching, please correct me if I'm wrong. In the color frequency, alpha is more higher than beta. So the alpha dimension is vibrating at a higher frequency. Thus, so that is why things come quicker in the dream world. But we are vibrating at a much lower frequency. So that is why when we ask for things or when we set our intentions, things come slower. So that is where the law of attraction comes into play as well. So that is what I feel the law of attraction is. But talking about what I just said right now, why do you think it's so hard for people to truly understand the capabilities to use lucid dreaming to really change their aspects of their life? Is it towards their belief, or is it towards that on just their own way of living, or their own perception?
For myself, it was the blocks of seemingly other people's beliefs outside of me, right? Like the partner I was with at the time said to me, oh, lucid dreaming's not real. Like that's just people on the internet lying to you to try to make money. The
Yeah.
more YouTube videos that you click, then they're making more money. And I was like, no, people can't be that cruel and mean and just make up these lies. Like I don't think that they're lying, and I think that it's real. So I'm going to try it out until it works, right? And it took me like a bit of time, like probably a year plus a few months, when I really started getting serious about it, when I was like, no, this has to be real, because I need to know. I was the kind of person that needed to know that there was life beyond death because I was afraid of dying. And
Mm.
so I needed some sort of confirmation that there was another plane of existence. If people were saying that there was in your lucid dream world, I needed to do it and find out for myself. And it's important, I think, for people to find out for themselves. And this is one big reason why I haven't like set up a course that people pay for. I've considered it. Like people have told me you should make courses and like make money off of doing this, and maybe I will, but like mostly I like giving it away for free just to encourage people and come up with witnesses and proof and show that yes, this is real. Like look at all these other people that are doing it that like learned, right? And I didn't charge them for it. Like
I understand that.
it shouldn't cost anyone money to do these things. Like it's something that's innately in our own brain, in our own head. You know, there's nothing that you can
Just trying
take.
to encourage people to really dive into it.
Yeah, like you could buy things that will help you to lucid dream for sure, and they will work. But you could also remove those variables, right? Like you can take the mugwort away from under your pillow, and you can stop ingesting the lucid dream tinctures and teas. And if you like focus and you meditate on and you set the intention, you do your work daily, your mind is going to understand that you're telling it that it's important to you. And so it will help you to have the dream, the lucid dream, right? To wake up. If you're telling yourself over and over again, this is important, this is really important to me, I'm a lucid dreamer, I lucid dream, and you say these things in present tense, the universe here is like, okay, you're a lucid dreamer, you lucid dream, right? And you can't just do it like once. You can't just say like, I'm a lucid dreamer, and then just start lucid dreaming. I mean, you could, but for most people, it doesn't automatically work that way. They aren't able to break through their subconscious that quickly. So you have to do it over and over again until it happens. You have to persist in the thinking of it, just like you would with any manifestation. All manifestation coaches teach this, right? You have to keep thinking about it over and over and over again and believing in it, right?
Oh,
Like,
yes.
okay, you know how they say like a fairy dies every time that you say you don't believe in fairies?
Yeah. No, I haven't heard about that actually.
Well, a fairy doesn't like die in real life, but it dies because you have caused it to die. You stop believing in it, so it will not show up in your reality. But those people that do believe in
Ah,
these things,
I
it does
understand.
show up in their reality. Like if you believe in ghosts or you believe in demons or you believe in Jesus or whatever you believe in, these supernatural things and these magical events will happen to you because you believed in it. But if you don't believe, there is no hope for you, and all of that is dead to you. You will not see it because you have to believe it before you see it.
Hmm. That really does make sense, especially with I feel that the reason why people are so blocked towards these concepts is because of their stagnation and complacency within life and not to actually enjoy it. Because I feel that it requires experience, like you said, to truly, with repetition, to truly practice this wonderful technique. Like John Locke said, a philosopher said that we are simply blank canvases and our experiences is what shape ourselves. So we need stories on our piece of paper in order to create something wonderful within our minds. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, but as you were saying, something, our experiences create ourselves. Yes, that's true. The things that happen outside of us do create what's going on within us. But more importantly, and
So
but cancels.
it creates that blockage.
Yeah, so but, the etymology of the word but cancels out all the words that were said previously to it, right? It erases it. So I'm saying, but more importantly, is we are creating what's happening on the outside. And the more that the inner reality becomes more real than what's going on the outside, the more we're actually creating reality. And then we start to live in our own lucid dream within the physical world, right?
Yes, I've always said that to people when I'm trying to like discuss with them these sorts of aspects. That if we want to truly help heal the world, this is sort of diverging, but we'll root it back to the center. That if we truly want to help the world, we must first work on ourselves, work on the things that we are too afraid to face. Or otherwise, we have to first fix ourselves before we set our intentions on helping the world, or otherwise we'll just keep on creating more mess.
Yeah, and I have a good example of this that happened to me recently. So I've been following this thing online that's called Everybody Is You Pushed Out. And the idea is that everything and everybody is you pushed out, that this is a lucid dream. Even you and I talking together right now, this is a dream. We're sharing, we're co-creating. This is our lucid dream. We're aware that we're creating it. You're creating me, I'm creating you. You know, I wanted to be interviewed on a podcast, so it would help me to like think more and evolve, take the next step, right? And for whatever reasons, you created me to show up so we can exchange information together,
And
right?
to share the information further into the collective neurons.
Yeah. And also for ourselves.
Yes.
Same time. So we're co-creating together, right? Now, let's say that you have a boss at work, or you have a friend or a lover, and they're being super mean to you, and you want them to be nice to you, and you want them to show up as like a loving, kind person towards you. Because if everybody's you pushed out, then there's no reason that you should hurt yourself, right? So you go within your mind, and like a computer programmer, you rewrite the script of who that person is, right? So you stop seeing them as the mean, you literally have to stop saying to yourself, because you have this inner conversation with yourself. This is your intentions, your thoughts, they're creating reality. You're saying to yourself something about that person which is showing up in the outside world and looking as if it's coming from them, right? It looks as if it is. Like, I recently got ghosted on a date. And this has happened to me a few times, but it's because I've been creating it, right? Like, because I didn't actually really like that person. Like, I didn't like the way that they looked, and I was like lying to myself about some of their habits. And, you know, like at the end of the day, really what happened was that there was a spiritual reason for me getting ghosted. It was because, like, inside I was ghosting myself. Does that make sense? They're a mirror reflection of me,
Oh,
everything
yes,
and
yes,
everyone,
yes.
right? So if
So
you want to
so
find
you are
like
sort
your,
of rejecting the parts that you denied within yourself.
yeah, like,
Oh.
I've already met my twin flame, right? Like, I've already done the work, I've already done the rituals, I've already set the intentions. This person that's my twin flame keeps showing up over and over again. But yet I was running, trying to find other people, right? Thinking like, no, it can't be that easy. It has to be like, it can't be that easy. Like, and every time that he would show up, every time that I would ask for like those specific words, my twin flame, and allow the universe to bring that person to me with ease, I would be like, no, it's too easy, too easy. And he would be like exactly the way that I needed on a very deep level, right? And we have
Yeah.
this like running back and forth thing that goes on, which a lot of people are experiencing, I feel. And more recently, I'm coming to understand that we co-create with the universe, and whether or not that universe is subjective or objective, it's important to connect to that and to understand that the outer reality, no matter how it looks, is actually a mirror of what's going on within. Like when I was born.
We are small little lights, neurons, conduits to help the universe understand itself and expand.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, quite interesting.
Like
Continue.
before I was born, I decided to be born into a family that was abusive, right? And a lot of people say like, oh, if you're born into like things like this, it's your karma or whatever. I don't think it's my karma. Like, I don't think that anybody deserves that kind of stuff to happen to them. I've learned that, like, no, it's not my karma. It's just that at the time I was so separated from God. I didn't realize that God was within me and everything else. I didn't see you as God. I didn't see my mother as God, or my grandma, or my sister, or myself. I saw us, right? Like on this plane of existence. And then there was this being that was God somewhere else, in wherever, I don't know where this person or thing was, right? And so there was that separation. The moment that I was like, oh, God's not me, God's not them, God's not this wall, God's not, that's when I lost connection with God. And so then you sync your vibration and you go through many lives until you go back again, right?
Yes,
Like,
that in this plane of existence, everything is duality, and we have to work our way through the emotional spectrum of all the chakras in order to be unified as one. So that is why that I feel that everything in creation is just one light fractured into different colors, which is the emotional spectrum of the chakras. I think that goes really well with what you said.
well, there's the thing, we think that we have to like do all these things, that like, oh, I have to connect my chakras and I need to be in like some high vibration alignment. The
Yeah,
truth is,
true.
you already are. You already are. You already are God. You're already in alignment. There's nothing you need to do. There's nothing outside of you that isn't you, that you're not doing to yourself, that isn't being done for you. If you start to switch your mind and start thinking like, I'm God, everything outside of me is God, you start becoming a better person naturally, because like you're like, I have to treat that person the way I would treat myself. I have to see them as loving and kind no matter how they're showing up, because the way that they're showing up is my own mental projections, because I'm the one creating it, right? It's just
True.
based off of my previous thinking from when I separated from God. That's all that's showing up. It's the old story. It's not the new story. You got to
Yeah.
rewrite the story, and you got to do it constantly and like little by little until it keeps happening and you're like, okay, I got this, right? And then you start seeing people around you changing and things changing and more money coming to you and more opportunities. And sure, you'll fuck up along the way, maybe. If that's my own projections, right? Like I'm like, oh, it can't be that easy. But like,
No, don't worry.
you know what I'm saying?
We all go through that.
Yeah, it really is that easy. It's like you just go within, change your mind. This is why people meditate. It's to quiet that mind that won't stop talking all these negative stories and to switch it to positive stories, to say positive things to yourself.
Everything in life is merely just an infinite cycle of finite things. It's like, so as you were talking, as you were saying, we are working on ourselves and we're creating our story from the outside, and we're doing all of these things as well. We're also creating, and there's also a story being automatically created within ourselves as well. So that also reflects as dreams. So that leads to my other question. Do you have any good or bad negative experiences here with lucid dreaming, or have you even experienced sleep paralysis? Have you seen any entities?
Yes, I have. It's been a really cool adventure because I wasn't super into like Egyptian mythology or anything, but around the time of me having to go through chemotherapy, which at the time, like I believed like, oh, I need to do this or else I'm going to die. Now I've learned that the soul is stronger. That's what I think. And I could have used just soul medicine, but I didn't know how. So I would be given dreams by these Egyptian gods who would come to me and put me through tests and like put me through training. And we'd go underground in the Egyptian pyramids, like deep down under the earth. And like Anubis would come to me and say, like, so you want to find your twin flame? Like, you need to go through the halls of Amenti and like do all these things. And I was defeating demons, and like I took this demon and I deflated it into a bag, just by thinking like in Harry Potter when they say ridiculous to the Bogart.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They go like ridiculous and they change it to something funny. That's what you can do in a lucid dream, right?
I had that similar experience as well. I was dreaming, and literally, a dark shadow came running into my living room, and I jumped on it and I stabbed it, and it literally turned into a piece of rubber. Very strange.
So mine turned into like a trash bag, which, like we can go down the rabbit hole of like, what does a trash bag mean to you? You know what I mean?
Or like, we can go into the study of Sigmund Freud on how everything relates towards our mothers and fathers.
Yeah, like honestly, like my relationship with my mom and like the things that I went through as a child and the child abuse and all that, and the way that she's treated me now when I changed my story about her, right? Like she represented my disconnect from the mother god, right? I only talked to father god. I was born into a family that like believed in Christianity. It's a very like patriarchal religion. It's mostly centered around men. You never hear about like Mary Magdalene and Christianity. You know what I mean? Like you don't hear about the females, the female version, the goddess.
Very true.
So it's very disconnected from mother god. And this wasn't just something that happened within the last life. This was something that like happened many lifetimes ago. And then it leads to like the present, right? But now once you reconnect, then it's like, oh, okay, like connect to that mother energy, connect to also the father energy, use both, become your own mother and father, like reparent yourself, heal yourself, and then, send out the energy to your parents who may have hurt you. This is what I did. Every day I sent energy to my mother. Like, I love you. I'm sending healing energy. May the universe heal us both. And then we can reconnect, right? Like understanding that there is no separation, even if you can't see that person, that energy is being sent. And so what happened was at one point I was like, okay, I feel like I'm ready for her to come back into my life. I feel I can change the script about her. She's a nice person to me, and so then she did start showing up as that nice person. Within that week, she reached out to me when I was like, she's going to reach out to me. That's my new story. My new story is that my mom cares enough about me to reach out to me and to ask and to say she's sorry, and we'll talk and we'll work things out, and no matter what bumps happen along the way, like it'll all smooth out because that's my new story. And so that's what happened, right? Like
wow.
yeah.
That's very amazing. Like I actually commend you for like doing all of these things and wanting to really share this wonderful knowledge with people.
Yeah, everybody deserves to know that like they're creating reality and we're all co-creators with each other, and it's not your fault if like it is and it isn't. You don't have to beat yourself up over things that happen that you don't like. Just change it. Just be like whatever and change it to the way you want it to be. Like even with this person that ghosted me, right? Like I didn't blame myself. I didn't go like, oh, well, it's my fault that you ghosted me because I've been ghosting myself. I was like, no, like you ghosted me and you have my sweater. Like, give me my sweater back. Like still make other people take accountability for what they're creating, because they're also creating and there's also
Mm,
something for them to learn, right? Through the experience with you. Not everything is your fault that you're creating. It is and
very,
it isn't. You don't
yeah,
have to like beat yourself up over what you've created if you don't like it. You just need to keep doing what serves you best.
very true. It's like it's always two sides of the coin. But which that leads me to like sort of like coming to an end to like this interview now. I am doing this little documentation series of mine on me challenging myself and doing an experimentation to see if I can actually have a complete, vivid, controlling lucid dream in the span of 1 week. Do you have any advice for me? Especially because with some people beginning with lucid dreaming, they find it really hard on the first day because nothing tends to happen, and they sometimes become irritated and push it off to the side. Do you have any advice for me as I am beginning my week of lucid dreaming?
If you find that using material objects in the world help you, I would personally start taking lots of mugwort tea before bed. I would possibly pick up a tincture that would help you to lucid dream with certain magical lucid dream ingredients, such as guarana, things that will keep you awake when you're asleep, right? That will cause you to be like
Sure,
tapping into that. You can
sure.
also put mugwort under your pillow and set the intention that it will cause you to lucid dream and then have a lucid dream. You can use crystals. You can use candle magic and intention setting. You can get
Wow.
a journal, and I would start writing in the journal, I am a lucid dreamer, I lucid dream. And when you do it, be in a very meditative state. Maybe even like turn on some incense or make it special, clean your room. Make it something that tells your subconscious, this is really important to me and you better make this happen. Like
Oh, I will keep that in mind
yeah.
because I feel like because I left off lucid dreaming for a long time already now, because I started practicing it when I was just a young boy, and now I am regaining the practice again by doing it all over again. So I have to take your advice and and to implement it into the entire week of my lucid dreaming experience.
Like the subconscious will always go for what's most important to you in life. Like if you're in survival mode, you're probably not going to be having lucid dreams because the subconscious is too busy trying to keep you in survival, right? So you
Very
need to get
true.
lots of sleep. You need to like set an alarm 2 hours before you wake up in the morning, and
Oh,
then set the intention during, stay sleepy so that you still can go back to bed, but set the intention to get your mind working. Like maybe do a math problem, something logical, something that says like, hey, be logical. Like, so in that way, when you get into the dream state, the idea is that you'll notice if something is weird. Because you ever have dreams and things are really weird, and it's like, why didn't I realize that was a dream? It was obviously a dream. It was so weird, but
yes, I
yet
have had
I thought
those.
it was real. So this is becoming aware in the dream and going like, huh, that's weird. You know,
For
you look at
sure.
the you look, and then you realize, oh, I'm dreaming, and then you get up and you start doing what you want to do. So it causes you to pay attention in real life too, right? Because then
Yeah.
you go into your real life and you're like, what's weird? Is this a dream? And then
Oh
that
my goodness.
question, is this a dream, causes you to be like, no, really, is it? Like, can I put my
Oh.
finger through the wall? Like,
What?
yeah.
I'm
The
gonna,
idea is that eventually
I,
we wake up.
I'm gonna set my intentions to put my hand through the wall. All right then. Thank you so much for this advice, Erika. I would definitely use your tips on my lucid dreaming experiment. So, Erika, do you have any final words for people, newbies to lucid dreaming, or people who are just struggling in essence in life? Imagine you're on a big TV on a stage, on a football stadium, and there's millions of people listening to you, what would you want to tell them for the people that are struggling in the world right now?
Lucid dreaming is better than anything else on this planet. And it's like your own virtual reality. It's better than using Google. Meditation can give you all the answers that you need. You have a whole universe inside of you waiting to be explored.
You heard it, everybody. You heard Erika. Those wonderful words of hers. I hope all of you listening, and to you over there who wants to practice lucid dreaming, you heard it here. Erika, the master. Erika, if anybody wants to find you, where can they find you?
On Instagram at lucid_dream_angel. So that's Lucid Dream Angel.
And your YouTube channel?
Also the same at Lucid Dream Angel.
Lucid Dream Angel. You don't have any other social medias that you would like to promote right now?
No, that's it. Yeah.
Okay then. So this will be the end of this interview. Thank you so much, Erika, for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Bye, Brandon.
Who is watching, and see you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.